Yo, what's up, guys? The Insane Game Freak here. I don't do this, and this seems kind of out of character for me, especially considering a video I just made a few chapters. I mean, not a few chapters, a few days ago. But I don't even know what it is. Honestly, I don't have an excuse. I'm not gonna make any excuses. It is what it is. I am also kind of using this as a way to kind of talk about my thoughts because I don't even remember the last time I made a video about my thoughts on the One Piece manga. And even though the Shonen Jump thing kind of fucks me up sometimes, I can't do the thoughts as soon as I can. I don't know. Today was a weird day. I don't know why I even decided to look at the chapter, even though I didn't have to. And fucking J-Man and Facebook spoiled the shit out of me with the. I haven't even read the Naruto chapter. I'm not gonna read that one until Monday. One Piece was the only thing I read today. Naruto just got spoiled out the ass because everywhere you just see pictures of fucking Kakashi and Sharingan. It's all I fucking see. So, and granted, I don't care enough. Like One Piece still gets me excited to the point where I feel impatient to wait to read it. But fucking Naruto, I have no. That died like a year ago. Like at this point, I'm just I casually read it and keep up to date. So I'm not even gonna bother with Naruto. I don't even feel like I'm probably not gonna even make any thoughts on a Naruto chapter unless the chapter is really fucking major or it's the end of the series. So that's anything with Naruto. But yes, I am going to talk about chapter 7. Fuck you, phone. I am going to talk about chapter 756 and kind of my updated thoughts on everything. It seems like this chapter starts off with a character poll. Now it's in Japanese, and I don't know, but usually even if it's in Japanese, we'll see like numbers and shit. We didn't see any numbers this chapter around the characters to see which is ranked where. But the whole point, I guess, and I think the translated text said, "You'll decide." Now, granted, I'll see this in the English Shonen Jump, and I'll be able to tell whether it's if it's just kind of like take a bet or if this is actually the rankings and they just didn't put numbers around it. I don't know. But let's pretend like they did. If they did, it's cool because the Straw Hats are all in their top spots. And then if we look at the secondary list, I guess it would be like, well, at this point there's 9 Straw Hats, so I guess 11 through 20. I find it interesting that Cavendish is on the list, Rebecca's on the list, Tashigi's on the list, and Shirahoshi's on the and Kinemon to an extent. I'm surprised those characters are on there because from what I hear, no one really likes Shirahoshi. I think I'm like the only guy who likes Shirahoshi. Tashigi, I don't think has a fan base at all. Cavendish makes sense, and I haven't heard anything ridiculously positive about Rebecca, so I thought that was shocking. Kinemon, I think it's neutral, and then obviously you have your stereotypical Shanks, Akainu, Ace. I like how Ace is still on this fucking list. Law, Hawkins. Where the hell's my Pulov? Garp is on this list. And somewhere George is raging because there is no Kobe on this list. Oh, that shit's still funny to me. And then they have a color page, which is pretty much, it looks like them getting ready for something. This is supposed to be the celebration for 17th anniversary. And it looks nice, but there's one thing I really want to mention. Actually, there's 2 things I want to mention. Usopp's hat reminds me of Trace's hat. Ace's. See, fuck you, 4Kids. It reminds me of Ace's hat. And if you ever wanted any type of realistic proof that Oda draws women very similar, look at Robin. Robin looks dead ass like Violet if it wasn't for the nose. And even without that, she still looks like fucking Violet. That is goddamn Oda. Oh, and see, it's a cute. I like the picture, but my brain is seeing Violet more than I'm seeing Robin. The only thing that makes me see Robin a little bit is the forehead. That's fucked up, Oda. You exposed yourself. Why'd you expose yourself that? Now, I'm not gonna do like a fucking summary. I'm not gonna do the whole page by page thing. That's something I've been wanting to get out. That was the only thing I wanted to look at the actual chapter at. The rest of this is on top of the dome summarizing. So, one of the reasons why I wanted to make the video for this particular chapter is because this chapter is going in the direction I wanted it to go. And I'm very excited, but I'm also fucking paranoid because the last time Oda did this, we got the sugar situation. which I'm gonna go on the Usopp mini rant in a minute. But before I get there, this chapter, last chapter set up Frankie versus Senor Pink. Please let them show that. And then this chapter sets up, well, we already know Rebecca's probably going to get her shit rocked by Diamante. That's not even a fucking question or prediction. She is probably going to get her shit rocked. They're probably going to unlock, my assumption with that is that Luffy will come in there and save her. Or either that or Diamante will wreck her shit, and right before she's about to die, Luffy will come in there and save her. She'll unlock Law's handcuffs. Cavendish will probably fight Diamante. Cavendish and Rebecca. That is my assumption, because I know Law and Luffy have to fight Don Flamingo, so they're not going to spend time with them fighting Diamante. So I'm going to bet that Rebecca's going to, at the very least, hold her own up until a point and then get her shit rocked. And then Cavendish is pretty much going to be her and Cavendish are going to sit there and fight. And fucking Law and Luffy are going to go up there and fight Don Flamingo. But anyways, it sets up that fight. It also sets up Robin and Bartholomew versus, what is his name? Cadius, I think. Is the exploding man. The dude who has a fucking variation of the bomb power-up, because for some fucking weird-ass reason, they got to keep doing these bomb power-up variations. Seriously, he's like I think he would be the... Is he the third? I know he's the second, because you had number 5 from Baroque Works. But I think... Okay, maybe he's... I don't know. I'm not sure. Right now, I'm literally trying to see what the dude's name is, because I actually forgot the dude's name. Where is his name? Did they tell me again? They probably don't even say it in the chapter. I think his name is Cadius, though. The bomb man. The dude who can explode shit. The explosion man. Actually, that'd be a better representation. He has the explosion fruit. Anyways, you set up that fight. You have that fight. You have, the Rebecca situation, Frankie, Robin, and Bartholomew. And I'm very excited because I've been wanting to see Frankie and Robin get into fights, like real fucking fights in the New World. Because for Frankie's last fight is fucking solo fight, I think was... I'm not counting anything in Fishman Island because that was all ass-whooping fights. Those are cool fights, but they're all ass-whooping fights, so I'm not counting them. Frankie's last real fight was fucking probably CP9. Robin's last fight was Thriller Bark, and that fight technically didn't even end with them using a combo technique. Thriller Bark was the last time a lot of these characters got really any fights, and technically I can include Usopp to this to an extent. But even Usopp, I think, has gotten more fights at this point. And my thing is, I've been wanting to see them fight. I've been really wanting to see, especially Robin. And that's not a bias thing. I legitimately think she just does not have that many fights. I think in terms of singular fights, the only fight she's had is against, what's his name, Yama? What's the dude from Skypiea, the big dude, I forget his name, Yama? Yeah, Yama, I think is his name. That was like the last real fight she had, and I was like, this is bullshit. And I understand Robin's abilities are more suited for assassination type attacks. So it makes sense why she wouldn't get into any real, like, close confrontations, because the way she fights is technically long range and, quick ass. Like, realistically, if you put Robin in a sitting, she'd be like one of the most broken characters, because literally, she would just snap niggas' necks all over the place. So I understand that, but I'm just kind of like, to have her fight, and Frankie had no fucking excuse. They just didn't, I don't know what Oda was doing with him. But I'm happy about that. I see what they're going to use Bartholomew for. The only problem, and this will be interesting because it's pretty much the dude who touches anything and explodes, which makes Bartholomew kind of at a disadvantage because technically, I don't know if he can blow up his barriers, but I'm curious to see how that goes. Robin, that also poses the threat because that means Robin can't touch him hand to hand. So they could combine techniques and like have her use the barriers as a way of fucking his shit up. So that'd be interesting. And Frankie, that's just going to be straight. That's going to be straight just throwing hammers. And please, Oda, do not skip these fights. I'm be so motherfucking mad. I was already paranoid with the Trouble Sugar shit and you fucked that up. And then I was like, okay, redemption. We have time. He makes it up here. I'd be cool with that. But I want to go ahead and address something that I've talked about somewhat, but I need to really fucking talk about. Usopp, I will say, the worst thing about this arc, Usopp. I actually think Usopp has gotten. I think this one arc is worse than Sanji's situation in Fishman Island. And let me explain why, because I know people are going to get fucking salty about that. Sanji's situation didn't degrade his character on the scale that Usopp's did. Usopp's whole mindset, this entire fucking arc has been backtracking on everything else he's done. Shit, the arc before, he fucking reneges on a lot of it. Because even the arc before, Usopp wasn't like bitch made. He was all casual and shit. Like he was still kind of scared somewhat, but he was like, he wasn't dicking around. Like, this arc, this entire fucking arc, he has been terrible. He has been fucking terrible. And the only little saving grace he had was the Tontadas and him coming back to save them and shit. And being honest with the Tontadas. That was like the only fucking bronze area out of the sea of fucking trash that he has been. And we also get the reveal that Sugar's fine and well, which is another fucking character I need to rant about for a second. Oda, that chick's ability is broken as fuck. I still don't like the way he explained that ability, because it's essentially saying that her power stunts her age, so she can't age, well, she won't physically age anymore. The turning into toys doesn't bother me. It's the fucking mind wipe bullshit that annoys me, because I'm just like, they've said in previous chapters that Trouble's a hypnotist. Why in the fuck not give... Why wouldn't you just do the mind wiping thing with Trouble, having him use hypnotic rays to wipe niggas' minds and shit? That would at least make more sense. Sugar having that ability means essentially that she has like two abilities in one. You can turn people into toys and effectively erase the memories of that person every fucking where. That is ridiculous. That is batshit insane. Now, granted, I don't know if that ability works everywhere, or if it's just within Dressrosa, like if it has a range or anything. But the point is, and a lot of people see that. I remember Sory's review of the chapters when that shit was going down. One of the things he brought up was maybe the reason why Usopp bitched out was because part of his development was wiped away with the Robin situation. Because Robin got turned into a toy, so technically he didn't remember Robin, which means... But then again, Oda never explained that whole mind-wiping thing and what that would have affected in people's memories when shit went down. Or pretty much would have been the same thing. You just erased the Robin situation. But no, that still wouldn't have worked. So I don't know. He never explained that. That was the problem there. And then you proceed to go after that. And the way he beats her was dumb. They skipped him even fighting Trouble, which would have... I would have been fine with the gag if they had at least shown him fighting Trouble and giving an honest effort. Because it just makes him look like a bitch when you just literally, he goes, I'm gonna fight. And then the next scene, he's all fucked up. And then you beat her with a gag. And then even now, he's still, like even in this chapter, he's still scared. Oda, you have effectively fucked his character up. Like dead ass. And that was worse than Sanji and Fishman Island. I don't give a fuck what you think about Fishman Island as an arc. In terms of, if you compare Sanji's situation in Fishman Island to Usopp's and Dressrosa, Usopp's is fucking terrible. Dead ass. You can't, if you want to argue it, that's fine, but I don't see how Sanji's is worse. Usopp's has been terrible this arc. Like, dead ass. That, as I said, that one silver area where he mans up and admits to his lies and tries to sit there and fight, that was the best he has been in this fucking arc, which pisses me off, because he was fine in Fishman Island. He was fine in Punk Hazard. Oda, why did you have to digress the character just to have that moment? And what makes it worse is he's still scared, and I think it's because Oda still thinks that shit is funny. It would be funny. I think he's almost taking Usopp's cowardice to the same level he takes Sanji's perversion, which means he drags it the fuck out. And I'm like, don't do that, Oda, because Sanji hasn't been enjoyable since fucking Water 7. No, I mean since CP9. Like he was kind of like tolerable up until the transvestite shit, in the like the pre-time skip, but like separated Straw Hat situation. So yeah. I'm really. This arc I think is not even. I think this arc might be around halfway to like its last third done, because we still need Law's backstory. We still need Law's backstory. We still gotta save the Tontana princess Mon Cherie, which I think is a joke. Because isn't that a French word? Granted, but the problem is Dressrosa has a Spanish influence, so I'm not totally sure. Unless that word is kind of multicultural and it crosses the language barriers in different countries, I'm not sure. But I do find it funny that her name is Mon Cherie. It's not like pronounced this. It's not pronounced this. It's not spelled the same way as I'm thinking, but it literally sounds like Mon Cherie. You know, beauty, which fits with the theme of Dressrosa in general. We still got to find out what her power is. We have Chondro. That's cool. Chondro is exactly kind of what I pictured him to be, which is goofy as fuck, kind of like Kinemon. Other than that, because there's been a lot of breaks, I think Dressrosa right now, if I had to grade it, and I know this is middle, like somewhere between the middle towards the latter half of the arc, I think everything about it so far is fine. I feel like this will be one of those arcs that's really good to marathon, but sucks right now because of the whole break thing he's been doing a lot recently. And that's fine. You know, Oda, I've always suggested, like, Oda, if you were feeling like shit, just take like a month off. I mean, fucking Togashi takes years at a time off. I think you can afford to take like a month off, recover, and then come back at it like a beast. Shit, you could take a year off. I can wait. I can wait. I really hope Usopp gets a fight. He needs something to redeem himself. It won't fucking negate everything. The only thing, nothing will negate this, particularly because he's been scared this entire arc. Now, if it was only during the whole inside the actual factory thing and the interaction with Trouble and Sugar in general, I probably would have been like, you give him one good fight or at least explain his fight, I would have been fine. Because at one point he acts like he even said something along the lines that he intentionally did that to her. And granted, Usopp lies, so it's like, I don't want to fucking, it's like, I want to believe you, but I don't fucking believe you. But then again, I don't know. I'd say that's part of me that believes that he's full of shit. So I would have rather have just seen the fight. But if you give him one good fight, I can at least be like, he wasn't fucking terrible, alright? Because as of right now, he's been fucking terrible this arc. But my main concern with this chapter is just that I'm glad he's giving these characters fights as long as he doesn't fucking skip them. Oda, do not skip Robin Bartholomew. I cannot get the pronunciation of his name right. Bartholomew. Rebecca's, Frankie's, do not skip any of these fights. Because we've been getting kind of just a lot of clashes this arc too. We haven't really seen a full fight yet, I don't think. No, we haven't. We haven't even seen like real full fights. The full fights we've seen is tournament shit. And that's tournament shit. No one cares about tournament shit. Sabo and Fujitora, I don't even care if you skip that. I have a feeling you're going to skip Fujitora versus Sabo, which is whatever for me. But do not fucking skip the Straw Hat fights. And give Usopp a fight. Because he needs some type of redemption. He's been fucking terrible. But that's essentially my thoughts. Just on recently. Like, I'm still, in Dressrosa as a whole, I still enjoy. Like, I still give it like a B right now. It's still at B status. You're not gonna, the only thing that would make it hit A status is like, this last half has to be like balls to the wall awesome. Like, this last half has to show like all the fights for the Straw Hats in Dressrosa, including giving Usopp a fight and setting up his fight. I would have to, well, Law's backstory I don't think is going to be shit anyway. I'm curious about it anyway, so Law backstory, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this Doflamingo fight falls out, because obviously Luffy's not gonna beat Doflamingo by himself. I want that to be a fucking Luffy Law combo fight, like the first collab, not Shishibukai, what the fuck I want to say, worst generation collab fight that we've seen in the New World. That's what I'm looking for, because I know he's not gonna beat him by himself, but it'd be G as shit. Because Law's ability allows him to get away with a lot of shit. Like, if you just think about it, Law just has to keep switching Doflamingo's position and have Luffy just deck him. Like, have Luffy know where Law's gonna drop him, and Luffy just deck the shit out of him. Because that could work. You know, I think Law and Luffy could beat Doflamingo. Luffy or Law by themselves, fuck no. But them, like, teamed up, I love to see that. But yeah, I've been rambling for 20 minutes. And I just got home and my food is over there and it's getting cold, so we need to fix that shit. But yes, this is not going to be a thing, but this is just something I wanted to talk about and get my thoughts on. And I know a lot of people know that I like One Piece and they kind of want to hear my thoughts on chapters. So I'm going to do this one on time. Yay! So, life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace off.